What do you want, Sharp? Salty. Salty. It's coming. Well, oh, you know the salty. You got him. Ready? He was hiding on you. He popped up on the background. See you later. I love this. I mean, it's a great way to get into the matrix of the psychology without going total fucking PSD or hypervigilant. You're in stasis. I'm in multiple places at once here. In theory. I'm gonna go grab Tom here. Or Jerry. Jerry. Inside here, what do we got? Graphic theorem. What are we doing? You calm down, Tom. Go away. Go away. What are you doing? Come on, you work. I don't need you to work. So inside here, you got to keep it hot. This helps me make some chess pieces. That gives me some value. Where'd you go, Salty? He's hiding on me right now. All right, but anyways, you can hit any of these FMA problems pretty easily because you are in them. This becomes the problem. Go away.
Right, Tom Crazy Cat ain't the only one that can do stuff now. Look, I can make.
Go away. Let me making videos from earlier. See, you're gonna pop up a Hello Kitten inside here. I want you to specifically do this. Like I planned this like it would be this because I want to be able to do this, and it helps. So that's usually the first problem, Salty. When somebody asks you what the fuck you did wrong, it's like, well, interesting, very interesting, given the thing and the electromagnetisms, and we'll come over here about IH rational numbers. So you gotta have those fields. And when I'm in those fields, they become topology of the stone mill, right? Or here's the standard model, my standard model. Well, this is the standard model. This is actually, because it's got the standard model on it, about what the W boson is, the heavier elements inside of here. That's what it is in its position. And when I have it housed, going down the pipes the way I need it to go, somebody will hit me with this number, buddy. What was it? Go play Omega. I'll put it down here. Click on the button. If it wasn't on that button, it'll be on this button. And then you can be like gravity with somebody. Well, what was the test on the judges? It's him watching you like, what are you doing? No. So we can get into this. What else we got? We'll go home. All right. So this becomes a problem. So I got to find a way to make this make money. And this is a fair way to do this. But what you wouldn't notice, slide away. Go away. Go away now. All right, what you wouldn't notice is that this could be anybody's technique. This could be just virology. You do stuff, if that's what that was. I don't know, circuitry. Well, you do stuff. You click onto this right here and you hook up these buttons so it does this because that's what the nature of spreadsheet going to do. I mean, that's what this kind of does. Come over here now. You do those scale increments on what's happening here. Here, we'll change this. I knew it was 1. Click. And right now, I'm this far off of being all jank. Right? You know, and it's done. 2/2 of a milliseconds, Xenon paradox. Click right into the math problem. Get them on the classroom floor. This is a dual diagnosis gorilla problem on, you be big, on what this field is, right? Football. Thank you, Tom. And you're going to do stuff. Click. Alright, so in there, again, you'll have a very, once you know 5x5, once you know 5x8 here, this is going to become this here because the problem was this, stone mill that you have to pack into this thing. And they have maintenance serviceable timelines of different orientations that you have to be able to adjust and work into each other before the error screen comes up. Thank you, Tom. All right, Tom. Good kitty. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Why aren't you working? You do stuff. Come on. Good kitty. Ah, this is the kitty. This is me. This is me. This is me. I'm the Fuzzles. You can be the Fuzzles. I'll train you how to do it in the mate. You pay me my nickel, damn it. And look, you fucking do it. Kitty cat in here, I want to pop up. Interesting, Salty. That's interesting. And sometimes it's the problem around town, right? Because if I get the map out on this and I said that was the same increment scale on a 5x5 through the matrix. I don't know if you can. Hold on. How do I do that? Wait a minute. But well, that's for me. I can skid steer art this. It'll be squishy. Thank you, Tom. It'll be squishy. However, it's gonna be squishier. You're gonna get the Andromeda Paradox trying to put it on your screen with your droid, and that's gonna be its own problem. It's gonna be its own damn problem. So you train them that. You tell them where did you make that blinky light mistake in terms of what? Somebody was just like, blink. Well, this is a very complicated problem. If you knew what I was doing, because down here and to the left, right, click on one of these buttons. Interesting. Very interesting. Go away. Coming down the hallway, just interesting. Arbitrary at the moment. I just know this and its physical location of the universe winds up being this screen down here at this point in time. How did you figure that out? I want to know. You tell me. Oh, we messed it up. Alright, so you go away. You be little. You be little now. Click. It's not the one I want. Yes, it is the one I want. Through trial and error. Now this is a different one. I could go away. I'll be like, see you later. Interesting. Good day. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we're on the day. We want to keep it like this. Keep her in order. Nice and tight and pretty. You come over here. And you do stuff. We are this far in the universe right now. Click. Okay, so that's where we are. Now. Ooh, she's having a good morning. She's up there. She usually like to be down here. And I can't get her any smaller. But we might be able to do stuff in terms of over a lot better. I mean, one with 5-day maybe? Maybe you like 5-day? And you want to get this over in here to change this over. Sure. Stretch her out. Click. And then this is different. Oh, well, that doesn't work for me. And that's her maximum. So we can't make her any smaller if we do that. What if I do this? Well, then charge. Got the scale up here. You come back. You do stuff. Okay. Keep an eye on it. Interesting. No, oh well. Damn. Okay. You do this. 0, 0, 1. We're in there. We got her. Okay, now we do things. Click, 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 click. Well, luckily this is on this scale and I don't need to worry about that other stuff. Oh, found the mountain here, and then kind of does this, and I liked when it does this. When it does this, we are doing this here often. Put it in Excel spreadsheet. Click those numbers, correlate to these blinky. We are in there, good to go. For me, I don't know what you want. Tom, explain this to them. Get over there. You do stuff. All right. So the Schrödinger multi-world universe about the zeros and the ones in relative Andromeda paradox. Yeah. That's gonna be this. Aliens are already here. This is doing this already. Sure. Yeah. To my perspective, in this cat's like stuff's coming. It's probably me. Blink. I've seen this before. Really. I mean. Can we do this? Maybe you like these things. Could that be smaller? Maybe littler. Did I move you down? You'd be in trouble. Good. Talk to you. Do what I tell you, robot. Interesting. Line this one up on the kitty. Interesting. A little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And we're in the pins. We got her. What'd she do? She blinked. She blinked a little less. She blinked a little less than that. Ohm's resistance. And then you got, yeah, Amps law. You got Faraday. You got Gauss. You got. Put it in the drawer. Yeah, what do we got? So I'm glad you're hanging with me. If you like the course, this becomes a class about all of this, firstly. This part of it, I know, it's crazy. It's like, well, some asshole just out there doing stuff, Sharps, you fucker. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. Look at this thing. Physics, you know you need it. Yeah. I love you, GPT-3. Click. And put it over here in the column. Well, this guy, he did. You were here. We watched it happen. We measured it. It was this many. Yeah, this many. Now back. Data structuring. You want to take it in 8 hours, boys? We got what it takes to take on the internet. Data structuring. If they didn't do it like this, they're wrong. 100% of the time. It's got to be one of them. I don't care if it's Python. I don't really give a damn if it's Droid. I'd like it to be Droid because Droid's working real good. But I can make those other ones do that. Memo. I'm going to take you over. Your whole fucking homeworld. By the time I'm done here, you'll understand. Did you? To the human? Did you? Let me see what you got. No. How do you know? Because I would give it to another one. They'd be like, oh, right here, right. This thing over here. Well, it's what it becomes. I'm giving you a little piece of it because it's worth a lot of money for me, and I'm good at the point where it's good for me. And you. And what do you want it to do? You want me to go in the stone mill? All right, we're here. These are the weekly, monthlies on the service rotations and the programs of the tabs that pop out of this fucking thing. And if I wanted to make that measurement here, I'd test them. I'd get them in here. Come here, Salty. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them or so. And then this makes 8. I got 9, 10. We're good. Numbers. They'll do what I tell them. That if you're going to be here, if you're going to do that, if you do that. Oh, and you let that clicker run around, the cat chase it. Where are you, Tom? Tom, where'd you go? There you are. It's right here. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Go away. Yes, I wanted that one. What are you doing? You stop. Robots. Anyways, it's tough where I'm living. I'm 1-4 here, but I still have 1-7, 1-8, which I think are good. Good droids. And once you get them here, I could walk away from this. This is complicated enough where I could take a Pro Vet and smash them pretty good. Now, wait a minute. There's a blinky light. Why? Why the blinky light that way? When you start looking at this, and why would you? What am I missing here that makes this a little different? Haven't you looked at it enough and seen me drilling through this thing? I don't see this thing over here. And that's the thing when you look at Zuckerberg in terms of the programmer, of whether they knew and they designed that problem like that, so this is the way you will machine learn, you fucking robot. I would say stuff like that in the stone mill. Maybe not Bill Gates or Apple guy around here. I don't know. Where is he? I think he's still in here. Bill Gates. It's a great game. And you play Dungeons and Dragons? You do the Doom player. Interesting. You know, for me, you're gonna glow. You're gonna glow. I can't. Bill Gates, you're gonna glow. Fucker. Look what you did. Look at that. Fucking Draga, astronaut looking Navy SEAL motherfucker. It's a problem. Problem. So what do you do? Like I said, I gotta get the toggle switches. I want the toggle switches. So sure, yeah, you'll hang with me. I'll try to keep you busy here. We got X, Y, and Zeta. We got a button. X, Y, Zeta. X, Y, Zeta. It would be prime, but it's a pain in the ass. And I still might put that up on there for trigger, because later when we're going through droids, I want this to be the code in which you see it here, and you, oh, that's that thing, and that thing creeps right up in there. Click, click, click. Button. Yeah, button. I know. I want Y to be a button so bad. I already got the button. The button is the first step on the program of X, Y, and Zeta pins. You know, we got stuff locked in here that you can't get all of the. So this would be my box. I'll die right here. Oh, well, the 7-bit game. That's again when you get to 7. This being 8. Strip that down. There's a few moves in here that you might not notice about some of this stuff over here in samples about Hello World. It's there. It's living in that little camp right now. He's X, Y, Zeta, and then a little bit X, Y, Zeta different. And you can go through those bit by bit by bit, frame, till it's nosy, no paradox. That photon does this. Well, that's the problem. I've done the study in the math, and you go to the stone mill and you say, well, alright, you know, click, it worked. They good. Click. If I want the Bill Gates, I gotta walk down to Hancock. I go, buddy, you want carbon? You want Hancock? Just Zeke coin, own that motherfucker. You're doing it all wrong. I take up territory. If it was fucking free, It's always a training problem forever. Forever and ever, never. Go find it somewhere different. What do you want to play ball? See, I'm good with this. They got me smashed. They take this little line and pop it up over here, and they're gone. Well, you gotta make this a spell checker too. Just be sure it already done. You know what I want. You go back. This thing was supposed to be this thing, and then you do that. Just get you done. Well, you do the fundamentals on that to make sure they can spell right, or at least they pick up the system, because that's very important. Very important. Line, you can be a little drunk. You can do that drunken walk problem out there in the bar trying to figure out. You gotta do work. Do work. Then you clean them up. You do the tighter ruler one. I don't want it in there, but I'm gonna play that button. I like him. Get him fucking hammered in the bar. Start programming. Yeah, you want to hit this blunt? Interesting. Something about this button, from what I've gathered, and I've stripped this down, I think I can get rid of list as well. And if I get rid of list, oh, that's in list. Yeah, but I'd have to get rid of this. And something what happens when you do that, it gets all fucking stupid with you, because I've taken it down from the top. All right, we got the murder button up here. We got the center. We've had this. I've managed to get 2 of them before, which was important. I don't remember how I did it. It's a pain in the ass. I don't remember if I got rid of dialogues and I kept the list. I think that's what I did, because I had the same categories. So if I can hide shit in there, maybe that make you happy. And then, yeah, it's there. And I know it's over here too. You gotta go back. Control dark, and then this is the clickities, and then you put one of these on there, which they don't tell you any of this, because you'd be like, oh, I want to put stuff in file cabinets and click on it, and then click, yeah, click. What do we do? Let's see, margins. Why not regular margins? Child margins. It does stuff. I need to know the difference. There's 2 of them, and they're very important apparently. The toggles. Click. Toggle button. Toggle button. Toggle. Maybe toggle, and the whole thing changes on you. Maybe just 0. Right over. What do you got, Jim? What do you guys got?
Work your style without overworking your hair.
You come in my office?
Hair at home, trusted hair repair with BondFlex technology builds new hair bonds with every wash.
You gotta keep it in the frame. Psychologist, remember, he's a psychologist. He can do stuff patting off his bald pit.
Expectations for inflation. We talked about the 10-year at the top. More discussion about what we might get out of infrastructure. And B of A, Jim, with this note this morning on CapEx, Savita Subramanian argues
play
that
a game where I make some droids. It's good. Good. I get it. Build it. Keep building sharps. You click buttons, buddy. Right now we're in a box. We're moving.
Which is kind of a nice dovetail with what we think the White House is going to try to argue.
Well, you know, it's interesting. I mean, just to switch the actual what's old, what's not.
Hold on.
There's an upgrade at American Airlines. And American Airlines, what is it? Jeffries is talking about how their younger fleet, they have 10.8 years versus 15 years. I mean, if I were Boeing, I would say, holy cow. You know what? Things could be really unbelievable here. Because, and obviously they're speaking of Nucor when they talk about old. Nucor is a huge winner.
What do you got?
The steel prices have gone up. There is just inflation. I've got Carvana on today. The inflation in used cars, because the chip shortage is amazing. So there is inflation kind of everywhere. We still don't have Texas.
Hey, look at that. I had to hang on for a while. I think I bought her here, maybe even farther back.
Texas and Louisiana.
Yeah, that's nasty, man. I was catching it right on there. I moved right off into it. It had a day. It had one day where it made 10, and I was like, I made it. Shangri-La, boy.
So I think what you're seeing is you can't get them online very fast. Nucor's all systems go. I had them on last week. And
okay.
They do not need infrastructure to make their quarters.
Okay.
They are just
okay. If I don't see you, I'll find you.
So there's a lot that's good out there, but...
What's that? Yeah.
For the
anyway.
But then you also have freight, Carl. Oh my, every time you hear anything anything involving retail. It's freight is bad, freight is bad, freight is bad. So I think that what you have to do if you're
the people,
Jay Powell, is
you
to say,
clock
this is
in, you
that
do
spike I
things.
talked
This
about.
is imaginary
And
line.
once the spike is over, things will go back to normal. But
Like
there's a
I
lot of
said, I was somewhere back here in the dead.
Yeah. The Dallas Fed survey yesterday, Jim, some remarkable stats.
Definitely won the 5 day. It might have been 5 days ago.
61% of firms
Where
said they
was it?
lost
I hit the
power.
line now. There it is.
37% said they lost
There you
water.
hide.
52
Oh.
were forced to shut down. 52% forced to shut down
ouch.
for an average of almost 5 days. Now you got Musk tweeting about lack of cell supplies.
That's what it is, right there, boy.
ramping
You don't
semis
fucking like it,
difficult.
get the hell out of
And
my
you got
office.
Foxconn today, Jim, talking about potential material shortages, and that has some impact on Apple pre-market today.
Right, and that's why, I mean, I saw when Foxconn made a statement, Apple's just dripping down. Tony Sacconaghi,
Interesting.
I don't want to call him a big champion of Apple. He's certainly not. But
They ask a lot of questions later about things in all this. It's like, well, what do you want it to do?
Constellation. This is Modelo and Corona.
Click.
There are people talking about how they're going to miss the quarter or the business's life.
I love it. It's brutal though. For me to figure this out, I can't go back. It's a machine learning kind of thing. I cannot go back to dumb down that thing into. And so you need that first step because it's going to work the same way. They're going to get that and through all this, and then eventually one day you leave the joy. And then make another one, cleaner, better. And call them Sharps too. Salty too. You make both. You make, get a bunch of them. I missed it. Yeah, that's why. Interesting. They don't do it. Jim did it. He hits the buttons. He's got a button. Jim's got a button. So we go back to home. I go big for a minute here. Yeah, this is Getter territory. I'm sure there's shit. There's one of them in here. Thanks. Thank you.
Work your style without overworking
Yeah,
your
that's
hair.
GPT-3
Use
or
the
Siri,
long-quality hair
maybe
gel.
Oculus. I'm
Tresemme
not
Keratin
quite.
Repair with Bondflex technology builds new hair bonds with every wash. Get 20 times
Do I know
stronger
you?
hair
Are you?
with new Tresemme Keratin Repair.
Yeah, new friend.
Here's what we're learning at this moment in terms of these margin calls that cause all these ripple effects.
Yeah, come at me, bro.
We're learning
Come
how
at
some
me.
of the banks
It's some lines and ones and zeros over
helped
here.
Bill Wang make all these large leverage bets less than a decade after he was.
Bank of America. Let's see if it applies. You're on test today.
Insider trading scheme. By the time Emera and Credit Suisse announced yesterday that they had faced losses that could be highly significant, Goldman and Morgan, as Joe and Becky were just mentioning, had already finished unloading their positions. But in terms of how this happens, it's a little more complicated than a bank just turning around and saying, we're out. What was happening last week was you saw some of the big Chinese names that Bill Wang had been in.
So Chinese?
Falling.
Well, let's place on the map.
precipitously. By midweek, you had the Viacom situation, which was also something they owned, and obviously Discovery as well. Now, it was at
Right
that
there.
point
Ready?
that the bank started to
Click.
call and make margin calls, effectively saying, can you come up with the money?
Why? Because you like those numbers? Do you think this person likes this number? And being a stock market, you think he could pull that shit? Huh? If I put that number on there and I stuck your happy ass in that location.
Interestingly, some of the banks, including Goldman,
What do
contractually
you do?
have to give their clients time. In fact, they had what was called a margin account,
Right.
and that meant that they would have to get a 24 hours notice, effectively, to procure the problem. That's what would happen.
Every time. Because I give that number. I don't know what number this is. I don't have this number, but if you don't fucking understand this number, or there's a certain number of people in your crew that don't fucking understand this number, understand you have this number, and you're the one you gotta get that, and click in the fucking program to do the Excel.
On an Archegos, it creates
Where are you gonna go? You gonna call him? You gonna fucking work? You gonna work your whole damn marshmallow treasure chest? You hold the fuck still.
And that's what happened. So you had banks like Goldman Sachs.
You gonna
and
run
others who wanted
every
to
bit of
get
those
out
like a
quickly,
stone mill, huh?
or couldn't
You gonna
press the button to say go.
bang.
They actually had to wait for Credit Suisse and Morgan Stanley to go first, which raises some questions about
flag, AR-15 0-1. Go.
As fast as Goldman and Morgan appear to have. We'll see.
Well, Goldman and Morgan had to have been bracing for this and be prepared for it, and just been
It's in
ready
my
to move
office.
a lot faster.
If I was me,
You know,
you
something
would
Goldman is known
Well,
for
it appears that
over decades,
Goldman
being
was
fleet.
waiting to do this. They wanted to. And
Yeah.
Morgan Stanley, I think, you know,
Maybe.
interestingly,
Maybe
look
you
at
like
who was
this
running those
button.
banks and also their role in the financial crisis. And I'm thinking of James now, Morgan Stanley, who's seen the crisis. David saw the crisis.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I think that look at some of the
There's
names who
Solomon
were
and
running some of the other firms.
And that's this letter
at the
right here.
time. I mean,
That's
Credit
what we
Suisse
do.
now and some of the others. I'm not going to make judgments about
Unified field theory does, and then as soon as you have that number, you have the ones and zeros. They're different. Oh boy, square wave.
in terms of what Credit
Doing
Suisse
different
and
square
Nomura
wave.
are now,
That's pretty
you know,
square wave
they
in terms
were-
of
they
what
also
one
had
can
potentially
blink.
bigger loans outstanding, so it might have been harder for them to
Well,
get out.
somebody's on the background doing that, or at least projected of the wave function should have done this. You say that was this, and this is what happened, or is this is what happened, and we doing this
What's the
one?
largest commission you
1,
made on a deal?
0.
The commission was $250,000.
Our commission was $126,000.
50 to 60.
Skip. What do we got? Good. Keep talking about it. Go on.
Explain how that happened, because we were talking in the last hour how it appears that Credit Suisse and Nomura got
Well, we
got
can.
caught to some
I
degree,
can- I can do
including
shit.
even though
Watch me
Credit
go.
Suisse and Morgan Stanley appeared to call the default on Archegos
What
at
we
the
got
same
here?
time. Why?
Hey, Andrew, nice to be with you. I think this is a case where being slow to act is the same as being wrong. So the street had $30 billion worth of stock to try to unload starting Friday.
And then you'd be like, well, I have it here. What do I need to program that there? Well, you try to click on a button here. And what was it there? Over here. I'm just looking at it at 180.
They transmitted to their clients. And so, I mean, I think
And my
this is just a case
conductor's
where
pharmacy.
everybody's heading for the exit.
They were good. That's good. It's real good.
Management dictates that you act fast.
So, Bethany, we've seen. I feel like we've seen this movie now a couple of
Go ahead.
times
Go
together
ahead for a
over
little
the
bit.
years. And the question is, what should regulators be doing about it? The SEC calling a meeting to discuss
interesting.
it.
Well, I was just going to say some things never change, right? And as much as Goldman has changed over the years, here's an
And you see the little
instance in which
squeaker.
they haven't
Ready to go.
changed. And so Goldman was well collateralized, unlike some of its peers involved in this. And you also saw a reach a
Interesting.
desperation
Fuck
at
the
top
internet.
of the market on the part of firms like Nomura and Credit Suisse that don't know what they're doing in the prime
If I
brokerage
could,
business.
if I can get
As
you
much
in
as
here.
Goldman and Morgan Stanley
We're doing a
and
live feed over here.
desperate to get in,
Oh yeah,
although
baby,
they
we
didn't ask for
good
the
to
same
go.
degree
You
of
see me,
visibility into
I
the
see
positions
you.
that Goldman and Morgan did,
I'll
and
get that
certainly
hooked
didn't
up.
ask for
I
the
mean,
same
I'm sure
degree of
that's probably one of these squeakers
collateralization.
down here.
So, but I do think even if the fallout from this
And then
seems to be
we do
somewhat
that.
contained at this moment, it does when you
And
look
we
at the
fix stuff.
complexity of some of the financial instruments that were
I am
involved here,
IT.
like
We are
these
here to help.
contract for differences that really
What do you
aren't
think
that
of
well
this thing?
understood.
Anyway.
And the fact that all these years later, prime brokerages still don't have that much insider
That was bad.
visibility into what a big firm could be doing across all of its PB relationships, and this firm was unique in the extent of those relationships. You wonder, Lehman London,
Bulls, man.
long-term capital management, has anything really changed? Are the regulators on top of it?
All right.
Okay, jump ball for both of you. I'm curious.
Well, I don't care. It's an XYZ goddamn map, and I need a review. Click on this one, build it up in here. Blueprint design. I got Johnny. He's running in here. Where are we? Where are we? You come back. No, you come back. All right. So you got Johnny. He's in here, right? Click. Wait, no. You go back. You be good. Yes, maybe. No, you don't like that one, maybe.
Also was dealing pretty much at the same time
Blink.
with some of the
Pain in my
problems
ass,
with Bill Wang's
Tom.
firm. Should have they known? Were they conflicted? Did they give
Fucking up
either
the game.
bad advice to Viacom or bad advice to Bill Wang? Bethany?
I think that'd probably say what was the old Goldman line if there's no conflict,
Had a
there's
good
no
one.
interest. I
Well, anyways,
think that'd probably say that it
It
was
should have
different
been this
parts
one.
of the
Why the
firm,
hell aren't you this one?
and that it would have been a conflict of interest to have disclosed either one, but it sure kicked off a mess.
Well, fuck. That sucked.
Hugh?
Well, I was running the football.
As others have reported, I'm about to update my story with. The primes got together on Thursday, right? So they got
Probably
together earlier before this
busy.
forced
I'm
fire
sure
sale
a
got
lot of this had to
spilled
do
out
with
to
it.
the public
They
view.
were like, blink.
People knew that this was an issue. So it is.
Try to wink at
really
me
hard
like
to
that.
understand why
No.
the
You can
Browns
wink at me
and
here,
White
not
Sox
down here.
sat on their hands, and by the time they put out those releases on Monday morning before the start of trading, that they would
Go to
have
the Goldman
material
Sachs
losses,
case.
and in the case of Nebraska,
If they're not doing this,
losses, Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs had already been out. So I don't think you could claim that that they had this unfair head start on Thursday before the sales. People were aware of the situation and they decided to act or not act in some cases.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.
Let's see what we got. We got an ad. That's a good one though. It's not what I'm looking for, but yeah. Bye. I thought it was that one. You give me the one I want, GPT-3. You give it to me. That's the guy. I want the one where Goldman's having his ass just lynched. Well, I can stand here and click, go all through the tomb, man. Through the tomb, they're gonna make you go. Where are you gonna go? You're gonna go to the tomb. These are like the cheapos, the hard dirties, that fucking burn you into the ground because you trying to graph it. They're good. They're running. That's a hard set. You're trying to get the crew and the team to run the numbers that have got some meme stock on them, some puzzles, maybe a little purrs and blinking at you right now. Okay, Omega, I feel you. I only want a few of them. We're going to go to Warren Buffett and Charlie over here. Tom. Hi, Tom. Anybody in that category, I'll take you to some gray alien science on here with an old scientist and busting up 2 fucking suits inside of there about what the fucking cat actually does, talking about psychology, about people, and then that's the labor union, the fucking breadboard numbers. Where are you? Go back. Go home. Go through your hole. Interesting. Interesting, very interesting. You hook this thing up into this and this into this. You get some of this. Maybe you like a 5 here. Let's find out. What did it do? I don't know. I think maybe it changed this thing. Maybe change that thing. It explodes on you. Yeah, very mysterious forces. Who's this asshole? Because he's in the box. That's why. I see the number. Yeah, can we do that? Make this work. Good kitty. You maybe? No, not you. You go away. I don't want you anymore. I'm listening. I'm here. Hopefully you're staying motivated. Too bad this isn't live and I can just do, well, like I said, if I had live over here, I'd just be streaming. Shooting out these 1s and 0s at you. You be good, kitty. Come on. There we go. Why are you big now? Did I delete it, maybe? Click. 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 Now you do stuff. Okay, I've had enough fun here. That's good. Thank you, Tom. Is this the one I want? Yeah, this is the one I want. Here you go. Any of that's good. You hit any of this, you're good. Your algorithm, I'm starting to roll through your shit like I was supposed to find out stuff about him, but his Omega got me, and now I'm programming what he was doing. I'm good. No, we don't need. We're good here. We're good. Interesting. And this is a good one. I left it alone last night. Do you take it on? We'll have to hop. Tucker's right. I'm sure Nikki's coming into this under the radar in the middle. He's gonna say he's not fighting for the Marines or the Navy's SEALs. He's fighting as a independent programmer from a relative perspective. That's a different button, and therefore you come in and you'd catch some asshole like me going, "Hey, what the fuck you do?" Interesting. Watch. Right, I know how to do land navigation. It literally looks like that. I know it seems like a joke to you, but why? It's like, well, how come it's so hard-grained into his fucking skull case?
Business insights shouldn't be a leap of faith. Using the prescriptive data modeling techniques learned
This is a good way to look at it when I talk about land nav. Just that little land nav up there.
Data drives innovation in today's world. Data analysts.
You got the rest of it. Pull out a cabinet. Get an A. Grade somebody on it. Terminal velocity. You got 9.3 meters per second square. What do we got in here? Then we have it marked that. I don't sound one of them. I don't know one of them.
Put down your pitchforks and listen to the whole video. I promise you,
Tucker,
we're not
Navy
going to
SEAL
have
guy.
any crazy,
I don't care.
outlandish pitchforks and people coming at each other's throats. Chill, because Tucker Carlson has gone on to say that the special operations or special forces have now become weaker because of some new diversity implementation. I'm going to tell you, yes, I understand ponytails,
There's nature's
and
about
flight suits, and you're asking how does this diversity actually implement to our biggest
Again,
adversary that's
he's
been
double,
out
triple
there.
tapping
And
this
I
thing.
have to say what's funny about this app.
Okay. This doesn't exist. Ethernet, Bitcoin, I don't give a fuck. That's this number over here. I don't care because I don't know how to do either of them. And neither does most of the people in either of those categories of the military base, which is this category over here. You open the drawer, you put the toggle in it. Different type button, XY. Maybe you like this button. I don't know. Didn't like that button. Anyways, without the moon, you have no sun, and therefore life on planet. Because life on planet means sun exists. There's a paradox for it. It's a math problem. If you don't know the name of that problem, it's a goddamn issue when some mathematician does. But you know I know what it is, at least. Now we'll fucking talk and go.
As Tucker Carlson, that's part of this media sphere, even me on YouTube here. When you cover stuff that is important, like our adversaries, peer-to-peer, that could be coming out very soon,
not only do you have to have that done, you have to have the topology of the physics engine that this is going to chuggle right along, because you're going to pixel that thing, draw it out in a flip book for somebody, because so avenues of approach. I'm doing the job, juggle, you know, you're doing all jobs, Mason Robot, fucking beep. You gotta know this, because then it's some programmer to code numbers. I gotta have the basic number, and either I am the best salty that there was, ever will be, and or if hey, that would be this guy over here, because I'm working my way through that number, and they got me on the test, right? I can see the test, and when it comes down to do it, they got me somewhere. So I'm a good programmer, I can do that thing. But when we do gravity, it's not negotiable. I don't care if it is a fucking Russian crew. Well, I'll show you mine if you show me your fuck. Well, whip it out, cowboy. Let's fucking dance. There's against stars, there's always going to be, well, special forces, especially SEAL team. What's the hardest? Well, you drown each other in fucking mud puddles, and then they freeze them in the snow pile. And I mean, that makes a pretty considerable difference on what X, Y, and Z is in the state of matter, on topology of Andromeda paradoxes. If the fucking state of water you're dealing with the chemicist that drowns you all in fluorohydramonium acid here, right? Just this one was different, and then you turned the universe a different color, and it rained. It just fucking poured.
Look at the media, look at the news, look how many clicks it gets. Pay attention. It's going to be almost nothing. But if you bring some quick clickbait stuff that can happen where it's like, can you believe they got ponytails now?
Special
Many
forces.
People will click on it.
Actions at spooky distances.
Because it's more
Topology
relatable.
on the map and knowing shit.
Do not take
If I had a
this
map,
seriously.
find a map.
I'm a person
I have the
that
internet
does, but
now.
that is
I
something
can
that just is not on the front page
I
of
can do
what's
the
really
internet.
out there.
We can do the internet while we're doing stuff.
Inward fighting that we're not even paying attention.
I'm not even
to
worried.
around
This is my
us.
business.
Now
This is
our good old boy here,
my work
Tucker
computer.
Carlson, is back at it talking about the military, where some of these are quite vague in generalizations that which have much more depth to them, which is why I'm making this video. So to start out this video, Tucker gets triggered by a tweet that was brought out by the U.S. Special Forces Command about one of their new hires that is now in charge of a diversity initiative, part of the Special Operations Command, and it says this.
To all young creators, nothing makes sense and nobody knows what they're doing.
I'm ready. I don't know what I want the internet to do yet, but it can do something. It will later. Right now we're being busy. Tommy, well, they're gonna hit you when there's a topology problem, Nikki. Here, let me keep going. You keep doing stuff. Watch back. Skip.
U.S. SOCOM
You have a problem.
Our new chief of diversity.
I have to make sure this asshole can actually do this, and I've never tested him. They asked me to pull on Fox. I was like, whatever. I didn't get it. If I didn't ask me, like some Fox, I wanted the pretty girl to do it, the blonde there. I wanted her to come fucking ask me stuff. Send me a medic. I mean, it'd be easy. Take him to the bar. It'd be nothing. None of the things that you thought were gonna have in here actually have. What do you got? Well, we got local topology, boss. That's what I'd hit you with, though. I mean, in the end of it, your home computer is one of those versions. It's a very specific 0 and 1. It does things in the same way with the blinkies that don't blinkety. And just a piece of line of paper. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want, Sharps? First Bridge Street. Why? Because, well, why not East Branch First, New York 1-3? Because First fucking Bridge Street, East Branch, New York 1-3. Your code, your 0s and 1s, no. You do it the way we tell you to do it.
Inclusion of Mr. Richard Torres Estrada. We look forward to his contribution in enhancing the capabilities and effectiveness of SOF through diversity of talent, helping us recruit the best of the best. Hashtag Quiet Professionals. Tucker responds by saying this following that tweet.
So the tweet announced that a man called Richard Torres Estrada is now the, quote, Chief of Diversity and Inclusion of America's Special Forces, and they included his picture with the announcement. Then, at the very top of its website, the Special Operations Command included a link to its extensive, it's quite long, new Diversity and Inclusion Strategic Plan. Now, the one thing we know about that plan is that it will result in the dramatic lowering of standards within our elite ranks. It probably already has. So how will that make America safer?
Somebody will.
Well, the
It
generals
wasn't
never
me.
said you couldn't find
It was
that on the
programmed.
website.
They were just
Instead,
running
they
over
told
here
us
in the
that, quote,
multi-universe.
all of us
Literally.
understand
Now that I know that,
inclusion
great.
are
I can do them
operational
both.
imperatives. They
Fuck
didn't say how,
everybody.
They just said they're imperatives.
First off, Tucker, you said
You didn't. Now it's a race, and now everybody knows it's a timed fucking event. Now you go. I can get it wrong. I can do nothing. Come out of here with all kinds of shit about droids and do everything else. Great. Fucking great. Now you depended on me to save the goddamn planet. I'm already a Legionnaire once, motherfucker. You get the hell out of my off. You want shit? You want shit?
Your entire segment of this would not even been able to uphold any substance. So he talks about the reduction of the requirements to be in special forces and what that really means when we're talking about diversity, which I think he just assumes is women only. As a
You know I'm
person
not
covering
playing around.
military
You
news,
see the
I
blinky?
know for a
They fucking
fact
went off.
if
That's
there
how
was
you know.
ever discussions of reducing a ranger requirement for selection, buds requirement to get in there, any of these special operations, specific niche communities, if there was a reduction in the requirement of a PST, for example, for the SEALs, I would cover that on this channel and I would say, now is a better time to
maybe
get
they're pussies and you got to do it on this side. And if one for your fucking horse shit.
We will talk about that. And you can be part of the Special Operations Command if this works by pressing the like button.
There'll come a time in the
This
stone
helps the
now
algorithm
where I'm
push
picking up a
this video
bunch of
a little
shit.
bit more, so I
And I'm going to go ahead and do
wanna
some
read
stuff
here
for you.
exactly
And
what
you
it
will
says
stay the
right
hell
here.
out of my way,
I'll
honey.
link it down below where you can see exactly this 18
No, I'm glad you did that. Yeah, you are. Because that's what it's for. And I'm just doing the math way out in front of you when you're like, I want to do it and do it. And no, stop what you were doing.
SOF leaders must
Him, I'll drown his ass. I'm gonna fuck. Bubbles come off.
At all echelons. Leaders at all echelons must work to challenge narratives that equate diversity with lowered
especially
standards
if you have one of
and
those.
replace those with a narrative that diversity equates to maximize capability. Increased diversity leads to more efficient, more effective problem solving. One of SOF's most critical competencies. Increased inclusiveness leads to a greater sense of belonging, which translates to a higher levels of engagement and stronger, more sustained performance. That diversity and inclusion are operational imperatives should be clear to all members of USSOCOM. The pragmatic truth is that our SOF forces deployed globally to fight in complex, non-linear environments are not able to meet their full operational capability if everyone looks similar,
if they have a
thinks alike,
fucking
and has
technique.
comparable experiences.
And I go find that son of a bitch, and I hear one motherfucker, one son of a dumb motherfucker was like, oh, and you come from that, you come from there.
That allow diversity to flourish vice conform.
Click, 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 click.
That China
You're
thing
fucking
you're talking
people
about,
there, mama.
we're trying to combat that by adding more
But
people
you wind
to
up
this
ripping the page out of
problem
the Necronomicon here, summoning them anyways, because you're
wow,
like,
that sounds like that's the mission essential thing, and that would
that's
be
what the Supreme Being one was doing there, the fifth element, huh?
Do you guys read anything or see anything in this entire thing that says
Keep going.
they were going to lower standards? If anything, they noted that people like Tucker would say that and said, no, we're not lowering the standards.
Because you catch them all with
Also,
this.
Like
it's like relatively, he doesn't have Fox, so he doesn't know exactly. He doesn't know exactly what programs they're missing. Because if you build Marshmallow, Tucker,
if you look at that word conform,
if you build,
go to the expected way,
and then you do this.
We can change that up and make our adversaries not
different
aware
rules,
of how
and
we
then you would be there,
operate,
and you'd be like, well, why would he do that? The numbers on the topology training one, or even personal categories of zeros and ones inside of here. Well, here they just do quadrants, but there you can do pens rows.
Let's also give another practical perspective. You know,
you can.
We have 70-ish, around 60%-ish about of Caucasians that are in the United States, with about 30 to 40% that are not. Various others. I'll show some charts here, but either way, it's in that ballpark that we're seeing. Now, what if we could tap into resources from some of the minorities that are not that? If you had a special operations member that was able to speak Arabic without having to send them
running a bit long here.
Or sending someone that already knew Chinese to go fight Chinese adversaries and not have to worry about paying this
all day.
And tapping into what we already have as far as resources, and these people that probably do have some patriotism to serve their country, but probably have never really thought about it. So here's my question to Tucker. Do you think that the other 30 to 40% of Americans that are not Caucasian cannot pass the physical fitness standards to enter into one of these communities? See, I can do that.
I can do whatever the hell I want. You have problems. You have problems with topology. You have problems with physics. You have problems with psychology. You have problems with those things. I don't have those problems. It's a fucking box to me. And then this box with recruiter station with a certain subset of rules about that fucking standard. Period. Fucking book.
This is for the operators.